What's the biggest sacrifice you made for nothing? I was 16 when my parents sat me down for a family meeting. My 12-year-old brother Mason had apparently developed severe gaming addiction and needed constant supervision to function. He can't handle any responsibility, Mom explained. The doctors say he needs structured support or he'll completely shut down. Mason would spend 12+ hours daily playing Fortnite, Minecraft, whatever was popular. But according to my parents, he had executive function disorder and couldn't do basic tasks without help. I had to wake him up, make his meals, even set up his gaming equipment because he'd have meltdowns if anything went wrong. Just help us manage this until we find professional help, Dad said. You're so good with technology and he trusts you. So I became Mason's full-time handler. Every day after school, I'd come home to find him in the same spot, controller in hand, completely unable to pause for dinner, homework, or basic hygiene. My parents said forcing him to stop gaming would cause psychological damage. My job was to bring him food, clean his room while he played, and handle all his responsibilities so gaming could continue uninterrupted. I missed out on sports, dating, hanging out with friends, all because Mason apparently couldn't function without me managing his entire life around his gaming schedule. The worst part was his episodes. If his game lagged, if he lost a match, if dinner wasn't ready exactly when he wanted it, he'd throw controllers, scream for hours, sometimes even break furniture. My parents would panic and blame me for not preventing his triggers. You know how sensitive he is, Mom would say, after Mason destroyed his keyboard over a Fortnite loss. We need to be more careful about his gaming environment. I worked weekends to buy him new equipment when he broke things during tantrums. I did his chores, his homework, even talked to his teachers when he skipped classes to play games. My parents praised me for being such a dedicated brother while I watched my own grades suffer. I missed prom, graduation parties, college visits, all because leaving Mason alone supposedly caused him severe anxiety that only I could manage. The breaking point came last summer when I was 19. I'd gotten accepted to college but deferred for the second time because my parents said Mason wasn't ready for me to leave. That's when I walked in on something that changed everything. Mason was on a video call with his friend, completely calm and articulate, discussing complex game strategies and organizing tournament teams. The kid who supposedly couldn't handle basic conversations was confidently leading a 20-person gaming group, managing schedules. When he saw me, he quickly hung up and immediately started his usual helpless act. Can you help me? I don't know how to change my game settings. I just watched you organize an entire tournament, I said. Mason panicked and begged me not to tell our parents. That's when the truth came out. He'd been completely faking his disability for years. Not only was he perfectly capable of normal tasks, he was actually gifted at organization and leadership when it came to gaming. Mom and Dad pay me $50 a week to act helpless, he admitted. They said if I pretended I needed help, you'd stay home, and they wouldn't have to deal with my gaming habits themselves. 6 years of my life, gone. My parents had been paying my brother to act disabled, so they could use me as his personal servant instead of actually parenting him. They'd stolen my entire teenage experience so they wouldn't have to set boundaries or deal with a gaming-obsessed kid. When I confronted them, they weren't even embarrassed. Mason needed structure, Dad said, and you were getting too independent anyway. This kept the family together. We were teaching you responsibility, Mom added. Stop being so selfish. I moved out immediately and cut contact with my parents.